Judge Zern has now ordered a mastery to pretty much go over the allegations that individual shareholders are writing to the courts and saying that AMC breached this rule and they did this wrong and this was illegal. Well, now you're going to have one person that is going to be going through all of these to give a final recommendation to the judge. Now, we're going to be going over this court document that came out today that is going over all of these details, and I just went over a brief summary of it, but there's more we need to get into. Now, I think the number one thing this points out is there will not be a win for hedge funds coming tomorrow. That's number one. That's off the bat not going to happen. So we're going to get into that. We're also going to briefly look at this article. It says the week in Chancery Court, AMC's stock conversion fight, and they also point out that same exact thing. So let's get into this information. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, source your comments, questions, or concerns down below in the comments section. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get straight into it. So this did come out April 24th, 2023. That is today. Morgan T. Zern, Vice Chancellor. It's got the e-file date and the notice of when it was filed. Looks like 10:17 a.m., so about 3.5 hours ago. So it says, "Dear counsel and interested parties, I write to inform you of my intent to appoint a special master in this action. When the needs of a given case call for it, the court appoints an esteemed and unbiased member of the Delaware Bar as special master to assist the court in particularly labor-intensive matters. The special master reviews the record and submits a written report making a recommendation as to how the court should proceed. The report is then publicly filed on the docket, so we will get a rundown of the master's decision or recommendation after this review is done. The court reviews the issue de novo and decides to adopt the recommendation or to go in a different direction. That decision is also publicly filed on the docket or issued from the bench at a duly noticed hearing. The ultimate decision remains the courts." So yeah, the courts can, do what they want, right? But this mastery is a very good thing. It's a very good sign. And again, I want to point out, there hasn't even been a mastery appointed yet. That's very bad news for the hedge funds. Now, I don't necessarily think this is actually hitting the news wires as hitting the stock. You kind of got to dig deep to find this. And all the real headlines will come out tomorrow. And I do think it is going to absolutely fucking make AMC stock rip. I'm expecting some pretty bullish things tomorrow. Now, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just some guy that has been trading and investing in AMC for 2 years now. And I've been around a thing or two, right? So have most of us. And especially other court cases, if you've been a part of Chancery court case in the past, then you know kind of how these things go. They don't tend to be super quick. That's not really how they operate. It goes on to say, in this action, 3 stockholders of AMC Entertainment Holdings brought claims against AMC directors on behalf of a punitive class to enjoin voting on and consummation of certain proposals, including a 10-for-1 reverse stock split and the combination of all AMC preferred equity units, APEs, into common stock. Many other purported stockholders have docketed letters with the court expressing a range of views on the proposals. The claims that their membership in the class and other alleged wrongdoing by AMC fiduciaries and other actors in the stock market. Some stockholders have moved to intervene as parties. So some stockholders are actually joining the lawsuit. They're actually filing their own lawsuits. And I think this is kind of a way to make sure the Chancery Court does things the right way and they don't leave out anything that shouldn't be. Now, the plaintiffs and defendants have reached a proposed settlement. Under Court of Chancery Rule 23, stockholders will receive notice of the proposed settlement and the opportunity to object to its terms. The court will consider those objections carefully in deciding whether the settlement should be approved. So, don't be confused there. Don't be alarmed there. They're not saying it is approved. They're just saying if it were to be approved, what would happen next, right? You would have a say-so to object to this settlement because remember, this was filed as a class action lawsuit. That means AMC common class shareholders. Think about like a classroom, right? It's not just one. If the classroom gets in trouble, right? Little badass kids, classroom gets in trouble, all of you little motherfuckers get in trouble too, right? Keep that in mind. So many stockholders' letters on the docket express concern regarding the terms of a proposed settlement disclosed in an April 3rd, 2023 motion to lift the status quo order. Some letters requested that I reject the settlement. Some state the author objects to the settlement, and some express a desire to opt out of the punitive class. The court views these letters as suggestive that it may receive a far higher number of objections to the forthcoming proposed settlement than it receives in a typical case. Yeah, there's a lot more people that are pissed off here. It's not just one firm, it's not just two, it's thousands and thousands of letters the courts have received. And let me tell you, that's going to take a lot of time. That's going to take a lot of time for the mastery to go over. And most of them propose the same thing, that this was wrongdoing. This was and should not be allowed to proceed. Now, the court desires to ensure the stockholders' submissions receive careful attention. The court must also carefully consider the mechanics and merits of the proposed settlement and fulfill its duties in other matters, which are numerous. Considering the likelihood that the high level of stockholder engagement will persist, the court views preemptive action as necessary to ensure the efficient and just administration of this case, giving due care and consideration to each and every stockholder motion and objection. My plan is to appoint... Oh, they did appoint her. Okay, so my bad. I didn't read the last paragraph here when I started making this video. My plan is to appoint Corrine Ellis Amato, Esquire of Pickett, Jones, and Elliott, PA, as special master to review motions to intervene and objections to the proposed settlement, and to make recommendation for the court's de novo review. I understand that Miss Amato has to run a conflict check and has confirmed she or her firm have no conflicts and is prepared to accept the appointment. So it looks like it hasn't actually been accepted yet. They still got to make sure, like, they don't own any APE shares. They don't own any AMC. They got to make sure they're a neutral party here. Now, as you are aware, the court is holding a teleconference tomorrow to discuss the scheduling and logistics of the proposed settlement. If any counsel has objection or concerns, you may raise them on tomorrow's call. I have invited Miss Amato to attend as a participant. Absent any interposing concerns, I intend to enter the order appointed Miss Amato after tomorrow's call. Sincerely, Morgan T. Zern. This is a home run, baby. This is what you really wanted to see. Because, number one, it's more credence and more evidence that nothing will be definitive tomorrow. Nothing will be set in stone. Now, on the basis of these shorts taking on these short positions in AMC, they cannot afford that to happen. They cannot afford this to take months and to get dragged out and the settlement to be denied and the ultimate reverse split to not happen. This throws a whole new level of uncertainty to this arbitrage trade. That's a fact. That's a 100,000% fact. Meaning that the more uncertain this trade gets, the more likely you are to see shorts covering on their short positions, especially as cost to borrow fees are literally making this trade unprofitable as we currently speak. There is about $700 million of legal short interest on AMC, meaning the dollar amount of short positions on AMC totals about $700 million. Shorts just in the first quarter of 2023 alone, not to mention April so far, have lost $1.91 billion to cost to borrow fees. That's over 3 times the amount that is currently sold short in AMC stock. That's a problem. That's a very big problem. That's not an equation you want to be in. So shorts have been betting and throwing everything they have at AMC, hoping and praying that this was the last court date. And it's not going to be. This is going to take months and months, unless Judge Zern says that, hey, there needs to be a revote. There needs to be, something else here, because when you create this arbitrage trade, when you sell voting power away from retail investors in the form of what was supposed to be rewarding retail investors with these ape shares, that was the whole purpose, and for AMC to raise capital, not to take away our voting power, that's a problem. And obviously that's a conflict of interest, and that shouldn't happen. That would be like Morgan Zern appointing Millennial Management or Intera to be the master of this review. There's a big conflict of interest there, right? Makes sense, right? So I think still, granted, the most likely thing is a revote of common stockholders. And that'll be important for you guys to express your votes when that time does come. But for tomorrow, I don't expect much to happen. And if you take a look at this article from Bloomberg News, BloombergLawNews.com, the week in Chancery Court, AMC stock conversion fight. If you go down to Tuesday, it says AMC Entertainment Holdings shareholder litigation at issue. A hearing previously scheduled for Thursday was canceled, with a new one set for Tuesday. Vice Chancellor Morgan Zern said in a letter that the teleconference would concern, quote, settlement scheduling and logistics, but it appears unlikely that she'll issue a final ruling approving or rejecting a proposed settlement. The deal, announced in early April, would let AMC move forward with its controversial conversion plan after 2 months of fast-tracked litigation. That's not going to happen, right? That's literally proven at this point. You're not going to get any lifting of the status quo order. That's not going to happen. APE units are fractional units of preferred shares issued in a special dividend. Isn't that great? The special dividend that was used against us to retail investors that previously bailed out the company. Although the units are theoretically equivalent to Class A stock, they've traded at a steep discount due to uncertainty surrounding them. The shareholders say the vote approving the deal wasn't conducted fairly and sidelines retail investors. If Bloomberg Law News is picking up on this, I'm sure the courts have also picked up on this. And, my friends, that's going to make AMC stock fucking rip faces off of short sellers coming tomorrow. That is going to be it for this short, sweet, straight to the point video. One topic and one topic only. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Source your comments, questions, or concerns down below in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think about tomorrow. Stay tuned for that video coming out after the bell today about where we think AMC stock is going to go after this new information. You definitely want to join the party then. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel, source your comments, questions, or concerns down below in the comment section. If you guys also want to come trade with me live in real time, link down below in the description of this video as well. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one.